day on the net, bloodshed in Homs as the Syrian authorities continue their violent crackdown on protesters. Online campaigning for the release of 2 American hikers detained in Iran. And American billionaire Donald Trump takes us inside his very own Boeing 757. A UN delegation arrived in Syria at the weekend to assess humanitarian needs and visited Homs on Monday. Opponents of Bashar al-Assad were there to greet the mission for this much-awaited visit, but the situation degenerated and security forces used violence against the protesters. Despite the ongoing repression across the country, thousands of residents gathered for the UN mission's visit to the western Syrian city to voice their despair and ask the international community to intervene to stop the regime's violent crackdown on protesters. As we can see in these amateur videos, as the UN mission arrived, demonstrators shouted out slogans attacking the president. And some, like this man, reportedly even warned the UN delegates there would probably be further bloodshed once they'd left the city. And he was not wrong. According to reports from anti-government demonstrators, once the UN delegation left Homs, Syrian troops opened fire on protesters, killing several and sparking panic in the streets, as illustrated in this footage, which is doing the rounds on sharing sites and is difficult to verify. And it would appear the armed forces adopted heavy measures to silence protesters and regain control. A number of videos which have been posted online by rebels appear to show tanks rolling through the streets of Homs. And here someone's filmed the damage left after Monday's violent confrontations between troops and protesters. This building's been completely devastated and these shops destroyed by military fire. On the 20th of August, a Tehran court sentenced Shane Bauer and Josh Fatal to 8 years in prison. The 2 American men were arrested on charges of espionage by the Iranian authorities 2 years ago at the border between Iran and Iraq. They deny the charges and have won the support of web users who have been campaigning for their release. A site called Free the Hikers was set up shortly after their arrest in 2009. Web users have since been using the site to proclaim the prisoners' innocence, saying they didn't intentionally overstep the Iranian border. A lot of documentation has been posted online, and in particular videos filmed before their arrest, to prove that the hikers are just ordinary tourists and not spies working for the US government. The campaigning has also spread to social networks and on Facebook in particular, where over 29,000 web users have expressed their support for the American prisoners. A petition demanding their immediate release has also been circulating on the web and has been signed by over 5,300 web users. Many others, however, like Del Hill, have been wondering about the real reasons behind the hikers' trip. The American blogger suggests they had in some way been working with the Kurdish freedom fighting group and doesn't think we should be intervening on their behalf. Josh Fatal and Shane Bauer will be appealing their sentence. This German web user feels that if the Iranian authorities ignore international pleas, then more drastic action should be taken. He thinks that the United States should arrest some Iranian nationals and then negotiate an exchange for the hikers held in Tehran. The site archive.org has been set up to protect wildlife and help save the world's endangered species. With regular contributions from filmmakers, photographers, conservationists and scientists, the site hopes to become the ultimate online guide to the plant and animal kingdom. YouTube has put together an infographic looking back over 5 years of political highs and lows to try and demonstrate how in the US, the internet has become an essential part of political communication. We learn that 92% of House and Senate members have official channels on the sharing site, and that the White House uploads on average 17 videos per week. American billionaire Donald Trump, who made his fortune in property, recently bought himself a Boeing 757, which he had transformed into a flying luxury hotel. And in this video, which is currently doing the rounds on sharing sites, we're invited to take a look around.
This is the main lounge featuring the Sky Theater system.